Hi, I'm Alice Hoffmann, an indie artist from Austria. And this artwork isn't mine. I'm dabbling with a Paintover critique today. The artist who allowed me to show their work here is Wabisabi. Let's go! First of all, I selected the head and scaled it down to make the character seem a little bit older. Of course, this takes some cleanup, which I only did haphazardly. Regarding the proportions of nose and eyes, the eyes are usually set exactly around the end of the nostrils, so I slimmed down the nose and moved his left eye outwards. I also made the eyebrow a little bit longer. The head rotation is subtle, but it still affects the eyebrow position. It also feels a slight bit more masculine this way, I think. Given that the glow is intense enough to hit the hair, I figured it should also affect the upper eyelid area and the lower eyelid. The arm would block some incoming light, so I added a cast shadow on the face. This really helps with the dimensionality of all elements. I transformed the ear with Clip Studio Paint's new Liquify brush. Basically any or at least most art software nowadays should have a similar feature. In case yours doesn't, you can still edit your artworks easily enough by selecting an area with a lasso tool and moving it around, then painting in the missing parts. It takes a little longer than Liquify, but is still way more efficient than painting from scratch. I recommend hard edges to define important parts of your piece, even if you use an overall more soft-looking style. I added some more turquoise reflections. It is important to treat parts that are affected by light as a unity rather than the small details that make them up. This way you have an easier time achieving a coherent light setting. I moved the bent leg up a bit. In hindsight, this might be still too little. In any case, a bent thigh is lifted upwards. The arm brace is made out of metal and close to the glow source, so intense sharp reflections here can really help sell the material properties. The ponytail in the back has a lot of potential for dynamic curves. Not all of it needs to be inside the image frame. Using this principle, the motion can feel more spontaneous and natural. It's as if the hair doesn't pose for the portrait, so to say. With your magical light setup, it can also be fun to try painting some additional loose hairs that catch the light. The bent arm felt a bit short to me, even factoring in foreshortening, so I extracted it a bit. For the hand, I recommend bending it not too much, as that can look uncomfortable. I'm afraid the original pose wouldn't work with a hand's range of motion. The magical sign's arrows are basically an extension of the ellipse in perspective. It can be tricky to keep that intact. For something like this, you can work with simple guidelines that may look like the rays of a child's drawing of a sun. Constructing a whole arrow in perspective is a bit harder than getting a simple line correct first. That brooch design is beautiful. In terms of where it is placed on the image, it needs some cast shadow hiding parts of it though. On the plus side, you can add some neat little highlight reflections there too. In order to get a clear focus point, I leveled down the magical lights on the left in their importance. The color is super pretty, but having definitive focus is just worth more, I'd say. I also added some more medium-sized glow dots leading upwards. The idea would be that they connect the magic with his face. Also a fun opportunity to go wild with the color intensity. I used Clip Studio's glow dodge mode with a bright turquoise. But basically, you can just experiment with the brightening layer modes of your software until one gives you an effect you enjoy. At the end, I darkened the bottom of the background to add some more depth. I hope the Paintover suggestions help you, Wabisabi. And of course, it would be great if any of you viewers out there have found something here that can be useful for you as well. All in all, the original painting is already very pretty. I absolutely got to praise the color palette. I love it. I'd like to do some more Paintover critiques in the future here and there, perhaps on a monthly basis. If you'd like to submit an SFW drawing or painting, feel free to message me on one of my social media accounts. Have a great day with magical glow. Bye!